Well, today I'm going to be doing sort of a review and upgrade of one of my mods, and that's in the firebox. There's a grate that comes sort of in this design here, and as you can see, I have added the stainless steel bars to kind of make this gap a little smaller. Also, I've learned that I can't get my haystacks in here unless I put this between two 2x4s and then stand on the 2x4 to flatten it. So with that being said, it was like, okay, well, that's just the way life is, and I was doing fine. However, I did find a different one. This is the back side of it. This is where the fresh air from the fan comes in to the bucket. So let me kind of shape it in that direction. And if you look at the spacing on these, they're a lot closer, so I don't have to put stainless steel rods in there. So the actual distance is about 1 3/8 inches, and over here we're looking at maybe let me get it on this side, 5/8. So quite a bit smaller. And if I look at where my stainless steel rods were coming in, it would make it right about that 5/8 mark. So this would be like having the stock grate, but with these instead of stainless steel skewers. So that's interesting. Also, a big plus is how big this opening is here. At this point, I can slide a haystack in there with ease without having to crush it, and that's almost worth the price of admission right there. So having the built-in skewers and the bigger opening to put your fire lighter, charcoal lighter in there is a big plus. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the thinking was for this, where the airflow is going in. The only time I've ever seen a problem is that if my ash bucket is getting kind of full, I've actually opened the fire door and had a briquette fall out, and that's my fault for, you know, not keeping the bucket empty. But I'm wondering if anyone's ever had a problem where one of those fell back towards the fan. So this would definitely keep that from happening. So this is a safety option, in my opinion, that I welcome. It's like, okay, that's a good thing. So that's what this review is going to be about, these units, and I'll do my best to try to guess all the questions that might come from it. All right, let me put the pieces on the sun-friendly side here. So this is the business end that we've all used, and again, my haystack does not fit in here unless I flatten it before each use, which is fine. But I did appreciate having these kebab skewers put in. And let me kind of show you what my ash bucket would look like after using these. This is my ash bucket that literally I'll pour all the ash from the MasterBuilt ash bucket into this one. What I'm doing here is I'm allowing any hot coals to cool down in this galvanized bucket before throwing them into a used briquette bag and putting it in my garbage. So it's just a safety step. But if you look, this is almost all ash, and I would even argue it's 100% ash. If there's like little chunks that you might be seeing here, I would think that that was during the shutdown process, because almost always all I ever see by using those stainless steel skewers is a very fine dust, and in the past it was chunky all through it, and that's where I was saying that I was wasting fuel. So I would almost anticipate even a finer ash using this new grate. So one more look here. Let me just kind of get back and use zoom a little bit. So that's our standard one, and again, trying to get that in there just isn't going to work. Now this is the back side. This is where the fan would live, blowing air into the gravity feeder. So let me turn it around so that it's the same as this one here on the right. So if you look at the pattern there minus the skewers, it's pretty wide. And if you look at it here, they're nice and tight. So this is, in my opinion, better than the actual skewers. It's given me all the original pattern that I liked, or I thought I liked. And then in this opening here, again, there's so much room that I can put this in any way I want without having to flatten it. So I'm loving that part of it. So if you look in there, you can see like there's this little rubber flap, and I'm sure it's not rubber. And I would imagine that that's trying to keep anything from backdrafting into the fan. But it's not laying like it was when it was new. It's starting to curl and stuff. So I think having this new metal backdrop is going to be a welcome piece, as well as it looks like it deflects anything that's falling from the top, in that I can put my fingers behind it like this. So this is sticking this way a little bit. So I think anything falling down will land clearly inside the bucket, and I'll take that. Now this is after my last burn, and the reason there's so many big chunks here is I had to empty out the gravity feeder. So that was what was left over from the fire being snuffed out. So even with my stainless steel kebab sticks, these were on top of that. So they would have to burn smaller before they would fall through. But I'm anticipating that this new piece here is even tighter. Also, in my last cook, I was using this smoke tube. So I'm going to pull that out. And I will empty this bucket and put it in there, and I will actually do a burn for an hour or two and see how all that works out. But again, I think the thing that I'm going to get used to real fast is just putting these tumbleweeds in there with all kinds of room. So really looking forward to giving this a run for a few cooks. This is with the bucket back in, and the handle here on the bucket would hit that if you didn't allow the bottom of it to drop. Like goes in and up behind it. So yeah, that's really good. I don't have any issue there. At this point, I will put some coal in the gravity feeder, and then I'll light those tumbleweeds, and we'll go on in about an hour or so and see how that finer grate works. I've got coal in there now to light the tumbleweed. Okay, it's easy to go. Let's get down here. Yeah. I'm saying that's going to look pretty good. Well, while that's smoking, I'm going to turn on the grill. I'm going to try to, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to get down in there and take a look. That's just probably buildup. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I've got my chute, the gravity chute, emptied. And at the bottom there I have my stainless steel insert. And there's a lot of warpage going on there, which tells me that there's a lot of heat there. That firebox is no joke. And if the stainless steel is taking on a bit of a warp, I can only imagine how fast the original walls will tear down. But anyway, just thought I'd share that. Well, I think I have great news. I do like this new mod. Going down, you can see that I have a little ash left. There's a little warmth in there still. It's still burning, but it's burned down completely, but enough to put ash in my bucket. And like I thought, complete ash. There's not a chunk of anything in there. So that part worked out great. So having the ability to put the fire starter in there with no problem, having the opportunity to have a little safety shield so that nothing goes into the fan area, getting complete burns. I think I'm going to leave it right where it is. It's doing a good job. So there's still a little heat in there. You can see a little bit of pink, but it's all gone. And all I got to do now is put the blades in it. We're done. So that's the new fire grate modification by Nathan. So it's in the description. On to try to contact him. I know he's got a Facebook account, but I can't use Facebook. I don't even know how to get around in it, so I don't know how to send you there. So if you liked it, thumbs up would be great. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to call that a 5-star mod. I like it.